Good morning. Today, continuing the same portion, pathology for BSc nursing students, and chapter is cellular growth and neoplast, this part third. So, up to microbial carcinogen we have done. This is the sign and symptoms of neoplasm or cancer. There are 7 warning signs of cancer, which is developed by American Cancer Society to remember. So it's in a form of small word which can be remembered very easily. These are caution, C-A-U-T-I-O-N, caution. Caution. C, change in the bowel or bladder habit. A, sore in the does not heal. U, unusual bleeding or discharge. T, thickening or lump in the breast or elsewhere. I, indigestion or difficulty swallowing. Then O, obvious change in the wart or mole. And N is a nagging cough or hoarseness. Then there are some clinical features of the tumor, which are broadly divided into mainly 3 groups. First one is a local symptom. Here the patient may be present with a lump or swelling, bleeding or pain, ulceration, and compression of the surrounding tissue may cause symptoms such as jaundice, hoarseness, voice, and persistent cough. So, what are the clinical features of the tumor, which can be 3 groups? So, first, local symptoms can be the seen in jaundice, hoarseness of voice, persistent cough like swelling, bleeding, pain, and ulceration. And the second one is systematic symptoms and symptoms due to metastasis. So, what is systematic symptoms? The systematic symptoms can be related to the particular system of the body, like weight loss, poor appetite, fatigue, cachexia, excessive sweating, night sweats, anemia, and paraneoplastic syndrome. Paraneoplastic syndromes are a complex of symptoms that cannot be explained by either local or distant spread of the tumors or by elaboration of hormones associated with indigenous site of the tumor. Then symptoms due to metastasis can be patient with advanced or metastatic tumors may present with an enlarged lymph node, cough, blood in sputum, abdominal distension, jaundice due to secondary in the liver, bone pain due to metastatic deposits in the bone, fracture of affected bones, and neurological symptoms and intractable pain. Now, laboratory diagnosis. Laboratory diagnosis, how to diagnose the disease of cancer. This is a sample should be sent to the laboratory for diagnosis of suspected malignancy, that is cancer, should be accompanied by relevant clinical data. The sample should be adequate and representative and properly preserved. The various histopathological sampling techniques include needle or excision biopsy, in toto excision of lesion, scrape, smears, and Trojan section. Hematological examination. First one is a histopathological sampling technique, which are needle and excision biopsy, scab, smear, and Trojan section. And hematological examination of blood and bone marrow is the most important thing for suspecting leukemias and lymphomas. There are 2 main categories. Cytologic diagnostic modalities, including fine aspiration needle cytology and exfoliative cytology. So, cytological diagnostic test also included, hematological test also included, and histopathological sampling also included. Here, immunohistochemistry is also used for is the use of monoclonal antibodies for identification of cell products or surface markers. It's very useful in categorization of undifferentiated malignant tumors and detection of molecules having prognostic or therapeutic significance. Then flow cytometry can also be used for hematolymphoid malignancy. And other neurodiagnostic methods can be the polymerase chain reaction and DNA microarrays. So this was the last part. Till now we have completed this chapter. So I would like to summarize. what have we discussed in these chapters. So the first one was, the chapter name was cellular growth and neoplasm, and the first one was we have discussed with the introduction of the chapter. Then what is neoplasm, which means new growth or abnormal growth. Then we discussed about the carcinoma in situ, which was the inside the cells cancer can produce cells can produce cancer, but they are very low initial stage, so carcinoma in situ. Then we discussed about the nomenclatures of benign tumors and malignant tumors. Benign starting with oma, and malignant having carcinoma if it's epithelial cells, and then sarcoma if they are from mesenchymal tissues. Then characteristics of benign and malignant tumor were discussed. Then degree of cellular differences. Then we have discussed the differences between the benign tumor and malignancy on the basis of rate of growth, circumscription, local invasion, metastasis, differentiation, hemorrhage, anaplasia, etc. Then we discussed about the implantation, that is the newt cell is placed into an area, and then normal cells and cancer cells difference we have seen, and cancer cells biological property we have seen that only. Then what is metastasis we see. Then factors responsible for the development of neoplasia or cancers were like hereditary factors, environmental or cultural factors, then geographical factors and age. Then gender, chronic irritation, ultraviolet light. Then we have dealt about the carcinogenic agents, their chemical carcinogens, radiation carcinogens, and microbial carcinogens. Then we have discussed the signs and symptoms of a cancer, neoplasm, which was under the word caution. Then we have discussed the clinical features of the signs and symptoms of the features. What are the features of tumor? 3 categories: local symptoms, systematic symptoms, and symptoms due to metastasis. Then we discuss about the laboratory diagnosis. Under this comes the 3 sections: histopathological sampling, hematological examination, and cytological diagnostic modalities. Other include immunochemistry, flow cytometry, and polymerase chain reaction. So thank you, class.